Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Deidre Norton and I'm a Platinum Consultant with Team Skyline. Today's training is going to be on Pleasant Holidays for Beginners, how to create a quote. So we are going to get started. I'm going to be sharing my screen. I do actually have a quote that I need to prepare for a client of mine. So we're going to be using that as an example. Depending on how quickly we move through today, I may also do a second quote as well while we are here. So the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen, and then we are going to go to Pleasant Holidays. So for any of you that are not already registered for Pleasant Holidays, that is one of your suppliers, you are going to want to go to the Travel Cafe in the back office, and you are going to want to register for them under the USA Supplier tab and look for Pleasant Holidays. So if you're not registered, it's still okay. This training is going to be recorded, so it will be available later. So if you're not registered, just follow along. And if you are, then you're all good to go. So we're going to start today. Like I said, I already have a quote that I need to prepare for a couple that's wanting to go to Cancun in June. I have several resorts I'm going to do, but we're going to start with one, okay? So all you basically do is you're at the main page of your Pleasant Holidays when you sign in. If you have any bookings or you have any quotes prepared, they will all be here, as you can see. We're going to cover very basic things today, but there is a lot of material inside of Pleasant Holidays that you can use. You can see there's top destination places that you can click on. It'll give you information. Here is some featured deals that they have in here, so you can always look through this tab here. You have Europe destinations. So what's nice about Pleasant Holidays versus VAX or Vacation Express? VAX and Vacation Express are typically for your Caribbean getaways, Jamaica, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Turks and Caicos, things like that. What I like about Pleasant Holidays, it's very comparable a lot of times. And I'll be honest with you, I've been leaning towards Pleasant Holidays a lot more lately. That doesn't mean that I don't still price quote VAX and Vacation Express for my all-inclusive trips to the Caribbean, etc., places like that. But Pleasant Holidays has been pretty good to me lately. They've been very fair on pricing, and even sometimes they'll come in a little lower on certain particular destinations. But what I do love about Pleasant Holidays is you're able to do United States places as well in here, and you can do air, you can do packages, and you can cover Italy, France, England. You can see all of your Europe destinations, okay? So this just kind of gives you a general idea of what your Pleasant Holidays portal is going to look like. Again, you've got your top destinations. You've got tools in here that you can start and request a callback to be able to make payments, all kind of different things in here. And then up top, you're going to see an agent resource tab. We are going to click on that really quickly just so I can run you through it. But this just gives you tools you can use. You've got online services that you can utilize in here. Viewing and downloading marketing materials. This is where you can find a lot of places that you can do marketing with. So all suppliers typically have this. There's a social media toolkit. You've got booking incentives, destination flyers that you can use, top deals of the weeks, brochures. And a lot of times you can download a lot of these things as well. So just kind of scavenge through this Pleasant Holiday portal and just get familiar with what is available to you. So again, we will go back to the main screen. You've got a tab for activities. They do cruises in here. Guys, I do not recommend to book cruises anywhere other than your cruise line portals. Just not recommended, just not good. I don't do it. I never have, and I do not advise any of my agents to do so. So kind of forget that that tab is even here, okay? You've also got a group travel tab. You've got a destinations tab. You have all-inclusive, vacation rentals, vacation deals. Since I already know today what I want to start with, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this full throttle. You can click on view all promotions. So if you're looking for promotions for somebody, if they've given you a budget, you can kind of go from there. So as you can see right here, you can do just a hotel, a condo if you want. You can do flight and hotel and car, flight and car, hotel and car. So today I'm going to do flight and hotel. My travelers are going to be leaving from Atlanta. So all you do is come in here and type in Atlanta, okay? And they're going to be going to Cancun. Now, it does give you the option of Riviera Maya. So if you were just searching overall for some options or some destinations or resorts to be able to send them to, you might click on this Cancun and the Riviera Maya because it's going to give you resorts outside of Cancun as well. I know that my clients are going to Cancun because we're only doing a 4-night trip. So they want to get from Atlanta to Cancun quickly, which is about a 2-hour flight, get off, get to their resort, which is about 20 minutes away, so that they're not wasting each day for traveling, and it limits their time that they can spend at the resort. So here I'm just going to click. I know that they want to go June 6th through the 10th. Okay. We have 1 room, we have 2 adults over 19. They do want nonstop flights, okay? So you can uncheck this and it will give you all the flights available, but they do want direct nonstop. And when I do bookings for my clients, depending on where you guys are, from Atlanta to get to Cancun is super quick. I don't really quote my clients anything other than nonstop because it's such a short flight. And who wants to add a stop to their flight that may lengthen their travel day by 4, 5, 6 hours sometimes, when you can jump on a nonstop flight and be there in 2 hours, 10 minutes or less. Okay, so we do want to pick this. Now you see right here where it says show additional options. You can type in a hotel name, and you also can add what type of transfer you want. So we're just going to do, I'm going to request private transfer for my clients. Okay. And you can put in the hotel name. I'm not going to, because I kind of want to show you guys what it looks like when you're searching more than just one particular resort. So let's click right here, search for flights in Google. I do want to add, what is this right here? Oh, Fiji. I was about to say, I missed something, $300 off. So you guys can call directly to Pleasant Holidays and let them prepare a quote for you if you know exactly what you want. But this portal is so easy to do your own quotes. There's really no reason for that. But if you're in a hurry, you want them to do it, just know that when you call Pleasant Holidays, and I discovered this not too long ago, they do add, I think it's a $25 or a $50 fee onto the total pricing. So you are going to pay to have them put that quote together. So I always typically do it myself because you don't want to add on any expense to your clients that's not necessary. But just to let you know that you can call them. If you have them prepare a quote, it's okay. So you can call and have them send it to you. It's only if you book with them when you call back that the client's going to pay. So if you have them do that quote and then you come back in here and do this very same thing, you're going to save your client that additional service fee that Pleasant Holidays is adding on. So let's click search for flights and hotels and let's see what we come up with. At any time during the training, you guys feel like you want to unmute, I do not have an issue with that at all whatsoever. So please feel free to ask a question. Stop me. I don't want to continue through if one of you have a question. It's very important that you guys engage and ask questions. It is kind of hard for me to keep up with the chat, but I will do my very best to do that. So if you put something in chat and I don't answer it, feel free to unmute. Oh, I got somebody trying to come in. Let me hang on a second. So just feel free to unmute, as I said. It is 100% okay, and I do not have any issues with that whatsoever. So Julian, I see that you just joined us. We have already kind of gotten started, so this is being recorded, and you will be able to go back and watch it once I get it uploaded and dropped into all of our team chats. So what we're doing really quick is doing a quote that I need to prepare for my clients, a 4-night trip to Cancun from Atlanta. So as you can see right here, there's 184 options that I could choose from. But just to give you guys an idea of how it will look, this is going to pull up all the resorts, all your nonstop flights. My clients have requested Delta. So what I am going to do, it doesn't give me that option. That goes on the next page. Frontier's okay. I don't have a problem with Frontier. You sometimes can save a little bit of money. I'll show you that in a second, but Delta is kind of my go-to airlines for all of my clients unless they request something else. But you can see all of the options that come up. And even though I typed in Cancun, as you can see, it's still pulling up the Mayan Riviera and below Cancun, outside of Cancun, so it's not that big of a deal. So you kind of see what it pulls up. So now that we know what hotel I want to quote first, you also can take the option of clicking on hotel name. And then you can come here. And the first one that I'm going to quote is going to be the Fiesta Americana Coral. So let's see if this one is in here. There we go. So this is the Grand Fiesta Americana Coral Beach Cancun all-inclusive. As you can see, what's being quoted right here is Oceanfront King Suite. So first thing I want to do is I know that I want to change my flights. So I click the option of change flights. And then it's going to pull up all of my flights, okay? So I'm not a big fan of Frontier. I'm going to filter out and I'm going to put Delta. And then it's going to pull up my Delta flights, okay? So Frontier does have a 6:19 a.m. I'm not too crazy about that. So 6:20, I don't like that. 12:36, yeah, here's an 8:25. But see how it increases in the price? I already know that my clients want to leave early morning so they can get there early. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this 8:25 a.m. flight. That's going to put them there at 9:59 a.m. So we're going to click this. And then what we're going to do is come down and we're going to pick our departing flight home. So she told me that she wanted to leave late morning, early afternoon. So let's just see what's available. This 11:10 might be okay. 3:25, maybe 12:25 looks to be okay, but look how it bumps it up in price. This is what she wanted, so I'm going to give it to her. So we're going to select this return flight. All right, let's see. The top transfer you requested has a different price for your selected hotel. All right, so all we're going to do is just refresh. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Technical drives me crazy. Okay, so you see what we have right now. Our total price is $5,013 for 4 nights only. So this resort is amazing. I'm actually going here in May. I've been dying to go here. And if you guys are familiar with your Spoiled Agent portal, they have travel agent rates starting at $55 a night right now per person. And if you certify and do their course with them, they give you 2 free nights to use. So I only had to purchase 5 nights at $55 a night. So I'm super excited. Okay, so then it comes down, it's got your airfare all in here. So this is, oh, okay, that's because of the time difference. All right, so we have an oceanfront king room. I'm not going to quote anything else, but if you wanted to see all the rooms that are available, this is them. Okay.
Hey, Deidre, this is Jim. I just had a quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
And I might be getting ahead of myself here, but let's say the client has like an account with Delta where they have the frequent flyer numbers and stuff like that. Is there a place to put that in?
Yes, you can add that when you do the actual booking. And then if not, they're able to go in and add that after. But I do in Pleasant Holidays, when you go to actually make the physical booking, it's going to ask you for like frequent flyer number. It's going to ask you like if you have a TSA number, all that kind of stuff. So most all suppliers will give you that option when you book it. The only thing that we can't do is use people's points to purchase airfare. So if you guys have a client that has points, loyalty rewards for hotel, airfare, whatever it is, that is not something that we can book for them, unfortunately. And an easy way to know whether you can or can't, think about it logically. If they have something that they want to use that you're not going to make money on, then we can't use it. So I hope that kind of makes sense. But yes, Jim, to answer your question, you will have that option. And if not, they can add it afterwards as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. So you can see they have an oceanfront suite king, oceanfront suite double. So what I love about this hotel right here is all of the rooms are ocean front, which is amazing. I'll just kind of skim through here and show you guys. This resort is awesome. So, you know, with a lot of resorts, if you guys have done any bookings, you have oceanfront, you have garden sometimes, lagoon. It just depends on the resort itself. But I do absolutely love this resort. So let me get back to, we're going to keep this oceanfront king. So we're going to say, keep this room. Okay. And then it takes us here. And it kind of shows again. So you'll scroll on down. So this is a nice hotel too, because they do offer honeymoon suite, oceanfront. And then they do offer a 1-bedroom as well. And then they have a 2-bedroom for families, which is nice. So bedding right here, we're going to do 1 king bed because we know it's for a couple. There are really no special requests. Actually, there is a special request in here. So this is going to be celebrating a special occasion because birth date's not available. You could do honeymoon couple, but this is for her birthday. And we are going to save this. So now, if you decided at the last minute you wanted to change your hotel, you could. And then what we're going to do is you see right here. Now, what's nice about Pleasant Holidays is you have commission already built in your price, but you can add commission on top of it if you wanted to. I typically do not add a service fee, is what they call it, to any of my bookings in Pleasant Holidays, unless, and this is all personal preference. I'll give you an example. I had a honeymoon couple that I worked with, and I started out, they knew exactly what they wanted when they contacted me. So I was like, ooh, this one's going to be easy. Super simple. It's like, I'm ready for it. They gave me their dates, gave me their hotel they wanted. They already knew their room category. So guess what? I prepare the quote. I send it to them a day later. Well, do you have any other options? Well, of course I do. So I always give 2 quotes to my clients to start with at no additional charge. All right. If they give me a budget and I stay within their parameters of what they're asking me, I provide them with 2 different properties, 2 different quotes, and let them choose. Anything after that, I will add a service fee into each additional quote that I do, just depending. But this particular couple, it's been 3 weeks now. I have provided quote after quote after quote with patience, I assure you. And so I chose, and I would recommend when it gets like that, when they begin to take advantage of you, go ahead and quote them. But then go ahead and add your service fee to whatever they end up booking, because we all know quotes are good for typically 24, 48 hours. And then prices and availability are subject to change. So if you were to want to add a service fee, I'm only going to show you how on this one. For that particular couple, I ended up adding $200. So choose $200. Now I want to show you what it does. You know, see our price on the screen? $5,013. Watch when I update the price. Now, when you add a service fee in Pleasant Holidays, they do take a portion, no big deal. I'm still going to get $186 extra on top of my commission that's built in. So I'm going to click OK. See how it raised it? $200. Then you can come back in here. Oh, this is not where, I'm sorry. So I'm going to leave this here because I can go back and take it out of my clients because I'm not going to charge this. And then all we do right here is do, because the reason I'm leaving this in here, that $200, is I'm going to show you the breakdown afterwards of how it works. So continue booking this package, but this is how you're going to create a quote. So now you come to the section to where we're going to add travel insurance. I want to do, they just want future travel credits. So I'm adding that. And then we know they're doing the private transport, so I'm leaving that. And then excursions, I don't ever do excursions to any of my packages. I send them my Viator link or my Project Expedition link afterwards, and I'll let them pick and choose and let them book directly from my affiliate from there. All right. So now we're at the option of, let me see if this is where it shows you. Okay. Yeah. Now,
What, I'm sorry, what did you just say about you let them choose that option? What were we talking about?
I don't ever add excursions or anything in my packages. What I do is after I do a booking, when I prepare a quote, I do their air, their hotel, I include travel insurance and their transportation. If they choose to back any of that out, like if my clients decline travel protection, guys, this is super important. Insist that your clients take travel protection. It's very, very important. If they just 100% refuse to take it, get it in writing somewhere. What I do when my clients do that, I send them an email that says, you have chosen to decline your travel protection in your quote that I provided you. Would you please reply back that you are declining travel protection? That's going to cover you no matter what. When and if something was to happen, last minute medical emergency happens and they want to cancel and they don't get any of their money back. They say, well, you told me I have travel protection. Oh no, go back and read our emails. You wrote back to me that you declined that travel protection. So then when they go to dispute the charge for any reason, that's where your errors, omissions, and chargeback protection is going to come in from Archer. And Archer's going to want to see where they declined that travel insurance and that you have proof. So it's very important, stress for them to purchase it. If they refuse not to, get it in writing. I cannot say that enough. Now, back to the excursions. Whoever just asked me that, I wasn't sure who it was. So I booked their vacation, and then I send them my Viator affiliate link for any excursions or activities that they want to do afterwards, and then they can purchase that separately through my Viator or my Project Expedition. Are all of you familiar with Viator and Project Expedition? Are you registered for that? Do you know what that is?
Not Project Expedition, but I know what Viator is.
Okay, Viator is the one that we get you started with. So yeah. Quinita, you asked me right here. Let's see. Would they earn points if we booked for them for air and hotel? Yeah, they can add their booking and do their own points afterwards. They can do that depending on who it is they're adding points to. Melissa, is there a reason I stick with Delta? No, there's really not. The reason I stick with Delta is because typically when you purchase do a package with Delta, there's seats included with Pleasant Holiday, and you typically have a bag included. That's kind of wavering depending, but no, Delta's just simple and easy. I personally do fly Frontier when I go to Cancun. We go 4 times a year. With Frontier, and you book them, they still have to pay for their seat. They have to pay for their bags. They have to pay, for a carry-on. So that's kind of why I don't do that to my particular clients unless they're looking for a deal. And then I'll kind of let them know what's involved. But Frontier's got all those extra charges, and you may find a cheap price. But by the time that they pay for all those extras at the end, then they might as well have bought a ticket with Delta that covered it all. That's kind of the reason I include Delta when I'm doing quotes for my actual clients. It just saves you a lot of headache when something arises. Okay. So now back to this right here. You can see where I added the $200 fee. So that means I get $186 of this. The commissionable amount, this is minus your airfare, is $44.54.64. Non-commissionable amount is $1,096.36. So that's the airfare. So the total commission on this particular package is going to be $531.13. Now, I'm not only going to get 80% of this, remember what we get, but that $186 is going to be added on here. So remember, when I say that I add these fees, it's for people who I have worked over and over and over and over sending quotes and they can't make their mind up. You don't want your clients to take advantage of you, but you also want to quietly sit back and service them just like they think they're being serviced. And I don't, it's personal preference. But when I've worked like I have for 3 weeks on a package, I added that $200 in there. So what you're going to get is that $531.13 plus the $186. So your commissions on this one particular booking would be $717.13. Now remember, we get 80% of our commissions, no big deal. You know, that's part of it. So if we were to multiply that times 80%, you're gonna make $573 off this one booking. As opposed to only making, what is it? 531 times, if you didn't have the service fee, you would only get 424. So you made an extra $100 worth your time. Does everybody understand how this works right here? Because I'm about to back this out. Okay, all right, because I'm gonna take this out because I'm not charging my clients. So this is gonna take me back to. Let me refresh. If this takes me out of here, I'm gonna scream. Because it did not drop that price back down. All right, so 53.51 because we added that insurance and all that stuff. So here we are. Let me just check something really quick, y'all. Sometimes Pleasant Holidays does not want to be. So what was that price? 53.51. Come on. Yeah, okay. So let's go back in here and take this back out. I was just making sure I hadn't missed anything up playing around with this. I want this to go away. Not want to cooperate with me today. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to create a quote for this because I'm going to send it to my client. So we're going to click create quote because I don't want to book it right now. So I'm going to create a quote. And then what it's going to do is let you kind of recap everything. I know I have my flights, have my room, transportation, travel insurance. Here's my flight. It's going to come on down here and it is going to want you to read all this. Yes, 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 yes. And then I'm going to agree and continue. So once you hit this, agree and continue, it's going to give you a quote number. I always recommend write that quote number down just in case. So I have my quote number. I know what it's for. It's for Fiesta. I keep that in my notes. Okay. And then they're going to automatically send you a quote to your email. Okay. So you're automatically going to get it. If you want to send the itinerary or view the itinerary, you can. You can send the itinerary to your client. I do not recommend sending this directly to your client. I'm going to show you why. When we prepare and send quotes to our clients, we want to eliminate the actual supplier's name or any information about that supplier. Not that we're being deceitful, but here's the reason why. You don't want to send this quote to your clients and they see, oh, they're using Pleasant Holidays, and they get on the computer and they start typing and they find Pleasant Holidays portal and they go in and book the same thing themselves because they think that they're saving money by doing it themselves as opposed to letting you do it, because people do not realize that there is a, sorry guys, my husband's having to leave. So sorry. That they don't realize that there's commission built in every trip that's booked. It doesn't matter whether they book it, whether we book it, whether they go to Expedia, whether they go to FunJet, whatever. They're paying that commission. They don't realize that. So that's the whole reason that we do not want our clients to see this. And I'm going to show you why when we go, and I'm going to show you how you can prepare a quote nicely to send it to your clients. So I already know I have that email sent. So I have this. Now, let me go to the email and let me show you where it just came, because I want to show you how you can eliminate all of the Pleasant Holiday information in it. So I know it came here. Harvey Wall, what are you doing coming in late? Shame on you. Just kidding. All right, so here we go right here. Pleasant Holiday quote. This is where I just did this, right? So I'm going to click on itinerary. And here is what the client would see if you emailed this directly to them. Pleasant Holidays, we don't want it on here. Pleasant Holidays, we don't want that information on here. We don't want Archer Travel on here. We want our information. So here it is. It's a quote. Let's make sure that we have this particular quote and it does not have our commission information on it. Total commission. Even though it has it on here, we're going to be able to remove this. So let me show you. This will allow you to open in Google Docs. So let's open this quote in here. Now, look at this. All of it's in here. So first thing we're going to do is, boom. We're going to put why not travel? Because that's who is planning their trip. It's me. All of this stuff we can take out. Okay. You can leave the reservation number on here if you want to. Reserved for a party of 2, you can leave. It departs June 6th. It's arranged by Deidre. You can leave that if you want. Right here, I would take out, and I'm also going to replace with why not travel? All right, we want all this out of here, okay? Cancel for any reason, future travel credit purchase. This is a quote reservation, okay, only. So what I want to do, just to kind of make this look nice, I am now going to do only, very big. Prices and availability. Oh, I can't even spell availability. Are subject to change. And I always put until booking is secured with a deposit. Boom, you're covered. Okay. So this was prepared on April 4th. I don't really care about this. I'm taking this out because they know the date that I send it to them. They're going to leave on right here. So let's take out itinerary date. Departure date's June 6th. We want this out of here. And this gets a little, doing this in the Google thing, it's okay. So you can just kind of enter this back down. You have to play around with it. Let's see, there's no claim required. Let's just make sure we have in here. So that's their protection plan number. You can leave that in there because TripMate is who their information is from. So we have 2 passengers, main cabin Delta. We can leave all this in here. Leave all this. So the fare that's been booked, it's got a $200 change or cancel fee once tickets are issued.
So Deidre, excuse me, but it also had Pleasant Holidays in that little paragraph. You want that out too, right?
Oh yeah, see, ooh, good catch. So what we would do is just take this. There is no claim required and will be provided credit as appropriate. You can kind of leave that in here. You could actually what I'm gonna do just to make this look neat, I'm taking all this out because they're gonna get the information once they book on their travel protection. So it's okay, you have this here. All right, so departs on June 6th, and you could clean this up. I'm gonna go through this really quickly, but you could still clean this up even better to prepare it. But this is all okay. We're gonna leave all this in here. And then here we go. So page 2, we'll take out June 6th. We got 2 transfers, Cancun to Coral Beach. Their own typo. Private transfer. Can leave all this information. It's for their stuff. And then page 3, we want to clean up. And this is their check-in for their room, 4 nights. You know, you got oceanfront room. You can leave all of this in here. It's got the address to the resort, what it includes, 1 king bed. Lets them know that there is an environmental sanitation tax of 76 Mexican pesos, which is about $460 per room per night. No big deal. And And then their transfers back on June 10th, so we're good here. Make sure I don't miss any Pleasant Holiday stuff, y'all, right here, yep. Did I miss anything back up here?
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back. You missed
Oh, I missed
couple
a
of them.
bunch. See, I'm trying to
Yeah,
go too fast.
and then look in the smaller font too. I don't know where exactly at. Right here, right, yeah. In this paragraph, the where it says instructions, it's holding a pleasant holidays. It's on the bottom sentence on that page.
Yikes. So right here, what we would do is we would say holding a sign with your name. Okay, so that fixes that. Did I cover it all? Yeah, okay. Let's just scroll back through really quick. But I'm just doing this to kind of give you guys the gist of how do you want to prepare a quote. Even you can email yourself a quote and then forward it and clean it up this way. But I love the fact Pleasant Holidays lets us do this. Opening it with Google. They did not used to do this. Like when you opened it in Google, it would be all over the screen and it was impossible to fix. So I had to go about it a whole nother way. I do use Travel Joy as well. So I'm just showing you guys as beginners, Travel Joy, you do have to pay for, but once you get to that point, I will tell you all, it is an amazing travel preparation proposal platform to use. It is unreal, but this is an easy way to do it for now. Have a pleasant holiday. So you could leave this in here, even though it's, it doesn't really say pleasant holidays. You could just say have a pleasant holiday, or you could just take it out, which I'm going to do. All right, let them know they got a passport. Know before you go. There's no pleasant holiday. Let's see, vacation plan. I'm just going to take all this out. We can leave this right here because airfare was purchased. So total reservations, 5351. This is in here several times, so I'm going to take this reservation number out. Again, boom. Commissionable amount, we don't want any of this in here. They already know when they're departing, so it just makes it a little easier. Taking that out. Total reservation, we'll just take out the word gross. 5351. Payments received, net balance due.
You got Archer Travel over there on the left hand
Oh,
side.
yeah, I'm gonna get that out. Protection plan amount 338. We don't need this in here, so just take it out. Payments received 0. Net balance 4818. Gross balance 5351. Because it's so close to their travel dates, they're requiring a very high deposit, which my client already knows that. So just remember that if you're booking, typically I say 90 days or under, they're gonna probably want a majority of that money to deposit it. So when you got a payment due as soon as April 22nd for the final payment, I just recommend my clients go ahead and pay it so they can be done with it. I mean, it's really not that big of a difference. So I'm just gonna leave all this in here like this, but typically your deposit is gonna be lower when you're 6 months out, which is most people typically do that. My girlfriend, she's last minute, so that's just her. It's her name. It's last minute. That's what we call her.
So, Deidre, this is Jim again. I'm sorry to be a pain, but I got one
No,
more.
you're good.
Yeah. So where it says they're due on 22nd of April, 2024, I thought I heard another training of a different, was probably Vax, but do you want to like put that on the 20th just so they?
No, I was about to say this. Yeah, I was about to get to that. Good point. So what I would do in this situation, I would just tell your client full payment is due because of how close it is to your departure date. But anytime you have a due date, guys, make sure that this is me. I do 2 weeks before the due date. So we're showing if this was an extended booking, April 22nd is the final due date. My due date for my client to see is going to be April 8th. By doing this, it gives you a security window for those people that wait to the very last minute, and I don't care, you're going to have it They're gonna wait till 11:59 PM of the day it expires to make that final payment. You're gonna have those kind of clients. It's inevitable. So by giving yourself a 2-week window and you make that client think that that thing is really due on April 8th, if they miss that April 8th deadline, you still really and truly, in your own mind, have 2 more weeks to play with to get that final payment. And then if they miss their final payment, they're like, oh no, what do I do? I'm so sorry I missed. Is there anything you can do? Well, let me see what I can work out for you. So then you come back and you say, guess what? I got it to where you're gonna be okay. You've made that client think you've done something special for them. Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna come back to you because you made something happen that could have been a disaster for them, okay? So yes, Jim, good point. So let's see here, total 5351. Net balance is 4818, and then if they were gonna do that due date, you're good. So then we'll come down here and I'm just gonna, to make this simple, all of this is coming out. And then your quote's done. So then what I would do is I'm gonna come back right here and I'm gonna save this quote so that I know what it is, and then it's prepared to go to my client and I can just email it straight to them. So just make sure you name your stuff. So I know that it is for Emily and Sam and Coon. And because I'm gonna do several, I am gonna name this one what resort it is. And then save it. And there it goes. It's ready to go to my client. All right, does anybody have any questions? No? I think, Jim, you probably asked some good ones. So let me just show you what you do to go back and find a reservation when you want it. And you want to refer back to it. As you can see, I have plenty going on right now that I have been working on. So this is going to be Emily's. I know it is because the only one I've done today is on 6/6. So you can come in here and click on the reservation. Maybe. And then it pulls it right back up. So if you were ready to book, you could click book this quote. And it's also going to let you know if that price is increased. So I do have clients that I prepare quotes for, and I tell them this is only good through the end of the day. It can change. Typically, when you go back in and you redo it, the prices change and it is going to cost us clients more. Sometimes you find it cheaper. Okay, so you just got to play around with it. Then that's how you pull up your quote. So does anybody have any questions?
I do have one.
Okay.
I asked before somewhere else, but as far as like if it wasn't so close to the date, how do we handle like a payment plan?
Okay, so what I do, for instance, if you have somebody maybe that's booking in September, in October, like I had a honeymoon package right here, Brittany and Jackson. Their travel date is not until October. So once they make that, they made their deposit to secure the booking. And then what I do is I take the remaining balance. So let's say if we had, I'm gonna not write on my customers folder. Let's say if a vacation was $8,000, we're just gonna even it off. All right, and it required a $2,000 deposit. So that leaves a $6,000 balance. And their travel date is gonna be October 20th. You would just go in your calendar and that final payment date is October 20, let's say their travel date. So their final payment date was, I believe it's gonna be, typically gonna be 2 months before. So let's just choose August, for example. And let's say it's due on the 27th of August. We're gonna back it up 2 weeks, so that makes it August 13th. So then what I do from August 13th, from the day that they make their payment, I just kind of go back and see, and I either ask my clients if they want monthly payments, do they want bi-monthly payments, or how do they want it? I offer my clients monthly payments. So then you just kind of count back. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could offer them a four payment plan. And then what I do is I just break those payments in half. So let's say $6,000 is left. I would just divide it by 4 or 5 payments, whatever it is they want to do. And so that's $1,200. And then I go through and I pick my dates. I put when their payments are due and I send it to them and ask if they want to alter it or adjust it, then we do. But that's kind of how you do that. But just make sure that no matter what you do, that that final payment that's due is 2 weeks prior to the actual final payment date. Okay, so it just helps you. Trust me. I've been there, done it. I've made the mistake. And then I've scrambled around and got myself stressed out that I was going to screw my clients up. They were going to lose their booking and I was going to be in trouble. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, if no one else has any more questions. Did everybody kind of understand that okay? Like the whole doing the quote?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, that's a really easy way to do it, you know, and you can do quotes all different ways. That's a whole nother training in another day. I'm actually thinking about doing a training on how to prepare quotes in general. So, you know, all you know that I do presentations, I do trainings, do mentor chats, everything. So I'm just trying to work it into my schedule. All right, guys. So if that concludes today's training, then I'm going to stop the recording as long as no one else has any questions. And I hope you all enjoyed it. So let me stop the recording. Oh, I stopped my sharing. Where is my recording? Hold on. Oh, stop recording.